So one of the most common types of questions we get asked has to do with how to find the correct size tire and inner tube if you need to replace them on your stroller. Tires wear down and get holes and punctures and so on, and so every once in a while it is important to replace them. So one way you can do this is, of course, to buy your tires directly from the manufacturer of your stroller, but this can be a little bit costly and can sometimes be a little bit hard to get a hold of. You can, of course, just buy generic tires for your stroller. What you will need in order to do this is the dimension information for the tire itself, which is actually written on the outside of the tire. Very commonly, you'll have two sets of numbers here. One of them will be written in inches, will be the UK or American system. And this, for example, on this rear wheel is 12.5 by 2.25. So that's a very common size. The second set of numbers, which is more useful, is going to be given in millimeters. In this case, it's 57 by 203, but this does change quite a lot. And this is the ERTRO number, the European Tire and Rim Technical Organization number. The first number is going to have to do with the width of the tire. That can be relevant to some extent. We'll talk about that in a moment. But the number that you need to focus on the most, if you just want to stop the video here and run off and buy tires, the number that's going to be most important is the second number. And the second number, in this case 203, is going to be the diameter between the inner borders of the tire. And the reason that is so relevant is it's going to affect whether or not you can get the tire up over the rim size. This number is essentially rim size, although it's a little bit going to create a little bit of a tighter circle than the rim so that the inside of the tire can push up against this outer wall of the rim itself, right? So the quick answer to switching out tires is going to be to find tires that have the same second number here in the ERTRO number, and then to buy as not just one tire if you have one damaged tire, but all of the tires of that size should then be replaced at the same time. Okay, so a little bit longer explanation for those of you who are interested then. When you have this UK information, the 12.5 is not measuring the inside diameter, it's measuring the full diameter of the tire. The 2.25 is again dealing with the width of the tire. I'm going to bring another wheel in here because sometimes you have three numbers with that UK description. So in this case we have 10 by 175 by 2. The 10 is still the diameter of the entire tire. The 2 relates to the side here, how large it is from the top of the tire down to that border of the tire. But the 175 has to do with the width. The one in the number now is the width. So whenever you see three numbers, and most commonly it will be because the middle one is going to be smaller than 2.25 when it comes to strollers, it'll be 175 or 195. A lot of mountain buggy strollers have that. It's indicating that you have a thinner tire. In my opinion, when you're switching out tires, the 203 is what's going to get you over the rim, but all the other numbers, the width on the ERTRO number, and really all the information on this, what that is going to indicate is how large the tire or the wheel is going to be when it's fully pumped and on your stroller. And having the same numbers in these cases is no indication that the wheel is going to be the exact same size. What I mean by this is let's say you have a four-wheel fixed wheel stroller like an M. Malunga, and all of your wheels say 12.5 by 2.25, but one of them is from a different brand. Not all 12.5 by 2.25 wheels are going to sit exactly the same in relation to how high they are off the ground, simply because when you pump up full of air, there can be little differences in the relationship of the sidewall to the width of the tire. And in order to get all the tires to be exactly the same size, if you want to just replace one tire, for example, and you want to go by numbers, then you actually have to get the same brand of tire, and you also need to look for manufacturing numbers. So right here on this one, there's a A109110. So if you have the same brand, the same manufacturing number, and the dimensions are the same, then of course it's going to be the same. That's the same as buying a tire from the manufacturer of your stroller. Otherwise, as I said at the beginning, the quick answer is simply what you should do. Look for the same rim size and swap out all of the tires. That way you ensure that all the tires are going to be the exact same height off the ground, the exact same size when inflated, and you're not going to have any sort of steering issues as a result. So, in any case, that was how you read the dimensional information on the side of your tire and how you can go about buying tires generically in order to replace them on your stroller. We hope this video was useful to you, and if it was, we ask you subscribe as it helps us continue making videos in the future. Thank you.